Redditors, what was your best or worst time in a game of truth or dare? Was made to tell the truth about who I had a crush on. It was on a girl in the same game. She said, OMGEEWW, a part of me died that day. Worst she can say is no, right? The girl. I was around 14 and a girl from school hosted a class party. I had hit puberty really early and looked pretty mature for my age, which came with getting a lot of attention from older guys, which made a lot of my peers assume that I had some experience and extra confidence. We played truth or dare and I was dared to kiss this boy in my class who hadn't hit puberty, had braces and generally didn't match my maturing. I think he expected me to refuse, but I had actually been crushing on him and found him really cute, including that I hadn't actually kissed anyone before despite what everyone believed. We both leaned over on all fours from opposite sides and I could see the huge and boyish smile that formed on him, and it felt really safe and comfortable, and to this day I'm glad that was my first kiss. That's so sweet. Was in 6th grade, pre-internet 90s, and got dared to make out with my GF in front of everyone. We had kissed, but I didn't understand what exactly defined making out. I had to ask this group of fellow kids what it was. Felt super uncool. That's okay, you were in 6th grade. I was 33 when I asked my wife, babe, what's swagger, as it had just been mentioned in a lyric. If you have to ask, you don't have it. I'm still applying aloe to that burn 5 years later. 1995. I was dared to kiss a guy that all my friends were crushing on and I really wasn't. I smooched his lips and everyone was like, that wasn't a kiss. So I went in deep and hard for a second one. I was 14 and he was 16. We have been together ever since. He followed me to college, I followed him out of state for work, we moved back home at 25 and 27, got married. Here we are in 2021 still together. It is so bizarre. LMAO, that's wild. I love stories like this. Honestly, you probably just fit together really well. I wish you many more years of happiness. I was in 9th grade, it was like 40 to 60 with more girls, and one of my friends dared a girl, who was my crush at the time, to flash me, and she did, and it was probably the best moment of that entire year for me. A true bro moment right there. Played truth or dare with a group of really good friends and got dared to leave the party and stop hanging out with them. It's been about 8 years since then and it still stings sometimes. I can't believe people actually do this shit. WTF. Best, I was dared to make out for 5 minutes with a boy I really liked. Worst, he said he didn't want to play anymore and walked away from the game. 5 minutes is long as fuck. What the fuck? Edit. I meant in the context of truth or dare, stop telling me stories about how you made out for hours. There's this boy I liked that I was too chicken to ask out. So I suggested we play truth or dare with an app. Mind you, we were alone. There comes a dare to make out and he agrees. We've been together for 5 years, married for 5. This is actually so cute. Have a great life. Laughing face. One time in high school, a cop stepped onto the bus as I was wearing a girl's bra on my head like a helmet, like strapped under my chin and everything. Aw yes, BRA, every guy needs his battle-ready armor. So we had a group date thing and someone dared the entire group, like 8 people, to share their kinks, and eventually someone said scat, and then as I guessed it, party was over. No, reminds me of that AskReddit reply where the guy thought he had a scat kink, until he paid a prostitute to take a shit on him, and as soon as the poop touched his skin he regretted it. In 4th grade we were playing truth or dare on the bus home from school. Someone dared my friend to lick the floor of the bus and sure enough he did it. I thought about that moment the whole time he was giving his class president speech at high school graduation. Back then I had a crush on a girl that lives in the upper floor in the same apartment with me. One day my mom and her friends were sitting in our living room and talk about some stuff while I was playing with other kids in my room. So we decided to play truth or dare. I was the only male in the group and we were 6 kids around the same age, 11 to 14. Of course my crush was sitting next to me. Suddenly, I found myself being asked truth or dare. I said, truth, and the girl asked question, have you ever bought a present for your crush? And of course I was an idiot. Without even thinking I asked my crush if I've ever bought a present for her. Everyone went crazy and I was still waiting for a reply. When I realized the shocking reality, I ran away from home and did not show up until I thought they would be gone. I still remember this, being so embarrassed and blame myself for being so idiot. Edit. For those who were saying it would be smooth if I didn't ran away, actually you were right, but this whole situation was not planned. Also, for people wondering what happened next, I tried to cry but couldn't. After a few days, in the neighborhood all the girls were talking *it about me, and one of them was my sister. Also, my crush did not talk to me for some days as far as I remembered. Lastly, now our moms still talk to each other, but we live in different towns, so I do not see her that much. Dude, if you didn't run away, that would have been smooth AF. I licked the school bleachers. I'm 90% sure I've done worse, but I have memory issues, so I don't know if I have or what it was. Damn, must have been some good shit on those bleachers. The only thing I learned from this thread is fucking every human on this earth except me has had a game of truth or dare involving make-out and make-out related stuff. You're not alone, brother. 1. Found out my crush had a thing for me. She said truth. I asked her, do you want to go on a date with me? Silence for a second, then a smile and a yes. 2. Worst was when my dumbass friend fell on me whilst doing the dare of jumping off the table, broke his ribs and my foot. So how did the one end? Played at a boy-girl birthday party in high school. A cute guy was dared to kiss me and instead shook my hand. Thanks for the hit to my self-esteem, Matt. Most likely he had eyes for a different girl in the game and wanted to keep himself available for her, not piss her off. This comment section is why I always refuse to play truth or dare. Yes, there's kissing crushes all over, but then there's the guy that put cayenne pepper on his PP. And let's not forget the poor souls who got dared to go home and never come back. I was at a friend's birthday party. We playing truth or dare. When it was my turn, I got dared to kiss this guy. He was my best friend's crush. I looked over to her and she hinted that it was okay. A few rounds later, it was the guy's turn. He got dared to kiss the girl opposite him. It was me. Then, it was his turn again, but he had to spin a bottle to choose who he would make out with. Everyone was chatting or otherwise distracted, except for me and that friend. He span it. It landed on my friend, but he span it again, and it landed on me. TLDR made out with a friend's crush repeatedly in front of her TT. Something here is ever so subtly indicating to me that this guy may have liked you and not your friend. I was dared to kiss this boy and give him a lap dance. He later became my first BF. One time in middle school we were on the school bus and someone suggested to play truth or dare. One girl gets up and says, I'll kiss anyone on this bus except for him, while pointing at me. That was 16 years ago and I still think about it. Wasn't sure if I liked a girl or not. Heavy hints all night. More than hints in hindsight, she was saying she gave the best head, showed me her vibrator, etc. I can't fathom how I wasn't sure if she was trying to drop hints at the time. She got a truth or dare app and I got a dare to kiss her. She said it could be anywhere. I chickened out. I should have just gone for it and have that be that, but I was nervous. It was so awkward. I chose the leg, lower thigh. Of all things. Later she asked to be friends with benefits and I turned around, said, maybe, and went to sleep like a fucking idiot. I still don't know if I liked her or not. Edit. Thank you guys for the replies and the award. Made my day, smiley face. I'll get around to replying in a few. Is it even possible to fumble the bag this badly? Worst. I was 13 and the dare was to go into a darkroom with my then GF. She broke up with me instead of fooling around. Best. I was 36 and on a party night with friends one opened up that he had never played truth or dare as a teenager, and he always regretted missing that experience. We spontaneously started a round of truth or dare. A friend of mine chose truth and answered that she wants to have a foursome with us. We stopped playing and had a foursome. Well, that escalated quickly. Last day of school, I was dared to kiss my crush, on the mouth, and I fucking missed and kissed her nose. Most awkward day in my life. The smooth thing would have been to say, boop. I was dared to leave. Felt pretty bad. We did use one of those apps that gives you a question or dare randomly and one person got the dare to hug the person to her right, me, and refused. I was playing with my two best friends and would really have liked a hug. All those reading this thread, I am a serial hugger and a serious cuddler. Please feel free to receive as many virtual hugs as you need, and then some, so you can give them to those in need. Thank you. Post-COVID, I will personally deliver them, smiley face. Edit. Wink to no wink emoticon. I was given the dare to go to a girl and say to her, suck my dick. It was very hard for me because I was the good kid who never swore in his entire school life and I hardly talked to any girl. But it was the most daring thing I have ever done. I had to explain why I said that so she wouldn't complain to the teacher about me. This was in 8th grade. Did she do it? In high school once a girl dared me to lick her feet for a minute straight. Poor soul didn't know the fact that I'm a foot guy. I did it like I was disgusted by it. She seemed so happy and was laughing like she was actually punishing me. In reality it was one of my favorite moments in whole my life. Suffering from success, I guess? I dared my ex-friend to give me all of his chicken wings. Of course he'd be your ex-friend after a dare like that. A year ago, there was this party with friends. half boys half girls, and we were extremely bored and decided to play Truth or Dare with this random app, and at first the dares were just eat a banana with IDK pickle juice, and then it got real spicy with hug a girl, or like hold hands for 5 minutes, which I wasn't expecting. I got the lightly kiss, and it was my crush, so someone had a good night smiley face. Hand holding and hugging is spicy? Adolescence is a confusing time for everyone, and for 2 or 3 years I was friends of friends with someone who I thought was cute but often mean to me, the saintly nerd boy who thinks the best of everyone. I went from being, oh, hey, blank, to being quite anxious, feeling confused as to why I was seemingly getting picked on, and a little excited that I was the object of her attention, positive or otherwise. Time passes, and she ends up at a party where Truth or Dare is played, and maybe it's just 6 of us or even fewer. Our common friends are not there. We're asked to make out, seemingly to make me squirm, and it's only then that I find out I know nothing about the world and that flirting or being a little interest in someone takes many forms. I wouldn't see her many times after that, but the flip switch in self and social awareness was appreciated, not to mention the making out part. Someone, not me, dared one of the girls to kiss me on the lips. She looked at me with disgust, turned around, and chose Truth. That shit did wonders for my self-esteem during my teenage years, and the worst part was that I kinda had a crush on her, so I was heartbroken. I don't blame her entirely. The guy obviously did it to fuck with both of us, but she didn't have to make that face. I eventually got over it once I started hitting the gym and taking care of myself, and now I got a really great and supportive girlfriend that makes sure I don't feel like trash every day. Literally the same thing happened to me, except she said, "You know, can I do Truth?" I was give the dare to ask, insert crush here. Out to prom, over the phone, since she was in quarantine, and on speaker. So I called, turned on video so all she could see was me. I grab a paper that says prom on it, and the words she says shocked me. "I've been waiting for this." Yes. And that's the best moment of Truth or Dare. I was expecting a rejection, but that's wholesome. I was at a summer camp and we all had small groups that we would meet with in the mornings after breakfast to help plan out the days. On the 3rd or 4th day we were all getting pretty close and decided to play Truth or Dare. Our group met down by the lake and we were all sitting with our feet in the water, and someone was dared to catch a minnow with a net, nothing crazy. However, immediately after the minnow was caught it was my turn, and I said dare, hoping my friend would dare me to kiss my crush who was also in our small group. Instead, being the little shit he was, dared me to eat the minnow. Trying to be a badass 6th grader and certainly not trying to be a bitch, I did it and swallowed it whole with my cup of hot cocoa. If eating a live minnow wasn't bad enough, a couple more rounds go by and my crush was then dared to kiss me, to which she quickly yelled out, "Ew, I'm not kissing minnow boy." That became my nickname for the next week and a half. Never got the kiss, to say the least, and still wonder to this day if that's what gave me the tapeworm they found a year later. I ain't kissing you either, tapeworm boy. Was playing Truth or Dare at someone's house. Got dared to go home and not come back. I lived 30 minutes away. Ouch. Late to the party, but back in high school my friends and I all got together and decided to do this. I had a huge crush on one of them and she had a thing for me as well, everyone knew it. My best friend sitting next to me decides to dare her to make my jaw drop. So she gets up and tells me to keep my eyes open and lifts up her top. My jaw did in fact drop. Did she only flash you, or could others see? I dared a girl to flash just me once when a lot of us were in a circle. She had a flannel shirt on and opened it wide so that nobody but me could see her boobs. It was pretty clever. Dang, I have so many good memories from Truth or Dare, lol. The best time for me was when I dared my little brother to let me practice his hair and makeup on him. He absolutely hated it, but it was very fun for me, lol. I was like 12 at a sleepover and some girl was dared to jack off a pug. She did it while laughing hysterically until it came. Never hung out with that lot again. I played it once, I was dared to not play again. A super good BB gun, shot myself in the hand as a dare. I couldn't cry, so I just sat there for like 20 minutes, after that went to the bathroom and passed out from the pain. I was like 14 to 15 years old. WTF? Why on earth did you actually do the dare? Like, I have seen people who chickened on questions about their crushes. When someone dares you to go home, I can feel the pain from those 7 words. Was 12 or so, the usual, kiss a girl, comes out and she goes all ew. Barf. EEEW. Somebody just shouted, just do it, it will be the only kiss the loser will have for the next 10 years. Well, sadly the prediction came to be sorta true. Worst time would probably be one member of the group. There were 5 of us, admitting a ton of either dark or overly personal stuff on Truth. Like, you don't have to specify the gross sexting you did, or what drugs you have experience with. You can omit information that doesn't make the night better for anyone. That happened to me with a friend who described all this depraved shit you do with the FWB. Only I know he's only ever been with one girl, his wife. So now I know all the things his wife has been up to. Arg. Best. First deep kiss with a girl worst. First deep kiss with a guy. My bias. Asterisk I see this as an absolute win. Asterisk. So, my crush asked me who's your crush and I was like. What you said and what followed. All these stories make me feel like I'm doing everything wrong at 16. How do I get to a party and play games like this? UGHH. Username does not check out in this case. My friends asked me about my girlfriend who passed away. They know I never wanted to discuss that to anyone and they knew. Ruined the whole mood TBH. Sorry bro. In my early 20s I played a drunken game of truth or dare with my roommate, male, my GF and her BFF, female. The friend was into my roommate but he kept backing out of the dares and being a wet blanket in general. After a while it basically turned into myself and the two ladies fooling around for all the dares, which then led to a three-way, 2 times that night. Probably the peak moment when it comes to my sex life. What about the guy? He just went to bed? I was dared to pick any other player to make out with. Made out with the hottest girl in my high school. Fun smiley face.
Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.